when you think about the North, which is infinitely more complex and dangerous than what we're facing in the South, trust me, Hezbollah is watching this very, very, very carefully. And they're sizing us up. And I hate to think what their conclusion is about our ability to wage a successful, efficient war against them. Because if our example in Gaza is something that they're looking at in terms of evaluating our ability to fight them, we're only encouraging them. Every day we wait and put off and postpone going into Rafah translates into dead Israeli soldiers because we're giving them time to dig in, to prepare, to arrange a greeting for our soldiers when and if they go in. I am not so sure that Bibi is 100% committed to going into Rafah. I think there's an equal possibility that he's waiting for the Americans to simply say, no, you can't, period. No matter what your plans are for evacuating Hamas's civilian electorate from Rafah. And Bibi could very easily at that point turn around to the Israeli people and just say, what could I do? The Americans won't let me. We're dependent on them. What can we do?
I hear what you're suggesting, and I've seen it suggested elsewhere. I must tell you that my initial reaction is that is too cynical, even for Netanyahu.
I hope you're right.
I hope so. I hope so. Furthermore, I will tell you that if you are right, or those who have suggested such a scenario are correct, then it will truly be the end of Netanyahu's political career.
I would agree.
As it is, his political future, without reference to his age, which he's not at all in the same league as Biden, but in terms of age or being incapacitated, not at all. He seems to me to be in full command of his both physical and mental capacities, but which is actually quite impressive. He's not a young man. He's 74 years old, but he has squandered almost any political credit that he had with many of his voters. And if he does not follow through with everything or almost everything they are expecting to be done, then he truly will be signing his death warrant as a politician. That is my belief. And if for no other reason, that may be why he will not do that.
I guess the problem is, even if he wants to finish this war, the manner in which he does it, bearing in mind American caveats and restrictions, may increase the size of what they call the butcher's bill we're going to have to pay. The Rafah operation, such as it is, I had briefed this almost 4 years ago to a crowd of officers that were almost laughing at me for having the stupidity, they called it, of even assuming we would consider going into Gaza. I felt at the time, and I still do, that the appropriate attack on Gaza, a campaign against Gaza, should have been initiated in the south, not the north. It should have had an object of securing what they call the Philadelphia corridor and taking Rafah from the rear and digging a trench deep enough to intercept all of the tunnels, the supply and escape tunnels that were built linking Rafah and Egypt, and that the assault against Gaza should have gone from south to north. If they had done that, we wouldn't be in the mess we're in now. I don't know if the Americans are going to be satisfied with any plan that we put forward to safeguard the welfare of the Gazan refugees clustered around Rafah. And this is where my fear comes, that Bibi will buckle, in the sense that he will accommodate whatever American restrictions are imposed on our operations, which will only result in more Israeli dead, God forbid. But that's what I'm primarily afraid of. With your example of Eisenkot worrying more about, the radical feminist agenda of inclusion in the combat arms, you have Gallant right now worried about humanitarian supplies to these people that not only celebrated but participated in these atrocities that occurred on October 7th. There has never been, ever, I've looked at this high and low, there has never been an instance in recorded history where one side of a war facilitated the supply of their enemies in time of war. I can't find it anywhere. I'd be obliged if somebody could help me find an example of this, but I haven't found an example. And this is why I said, if we had a high command worthy of the name, that is an instance where they should have stood up to the government and said, if you do this, if you agree to what the Americans want, we're resigning. Now, that's the appropriate actions that a military force should take, military command should take in a democracy. You don't stage a coup. You don't do what you want to do as opposed to what the government wants. You resign. But God forbid people like Hetzi Halevi or others should resign. They're going to take it with them by promoting people that they've trained and taught and educated to fill in their shoes when they move on. So this is where I think, rather than Bibi perhaps saying, well, I can't do it, him saying, I can do it, but these are the restrictions. And it just isn't going to work. We're going to lose a lot of good people in the process because of the fact that we delayed the counterattack. We didn't prevent the attack. We delayed the counterattack. And then when we did go into Gaza, we did so in a manner that was guaranteed to lead to what I call Stalingrad on the Mediterranean, with all the casualties attending to that, and a very lengthy process that allowed our so-called frenemies, friends and enemies, to really restrict our ability to win the war quickly and efficiently, but by introducing this insane concern for these people in Gaza who are co-conspirators of the government they elected. I mean, it's an incredible thing.
It would be the equivalent of the British and the Americans, whilst carpet bombing Germany,
dropping food,
parachuting in supplies and armaments to and if not armaments, at least providing them with the material wherewithal to continue fighting.
Correct. That's why I said I can't find another precedent for this anywhere. And if that's the case, then you have to really wonder, why are we doing this? People say, well, it's because we're so dependent on the Americans for supplies. And I want to remind people of what happened in October of 1973, that when the Americans refused to help us with a resupply effort.
Initially,
we apparently parked an airplane with nuclear weapons at an airfield, and told the Americans to take a picture of it when their satellite went over. And it's amazing that, the next day, the resupply effort started. Now, I'm aware of.
That might be the reason, and also it might be the fact that President Nixon, as opposed to certain other people in the American deep state, viewed Israel as the most effective bulwark against
The
Soviet
Soviet Union.
expansionism. Yes.
But Kissinger was working very, very hard to make us bleed to the point where we wouldn't have a victory, a real clear victory.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah. So the fact of the matter is, I wouldn't want to see such weapons employed. But if we have no other choice, what are we to do? What are we to do? They were developed for deterrent value. We have no deterrence anymore. The enemy is not afraid of us. So what that means is, in the event of an American supply cutoff, we have to present the Americans with the choice. You either supply us, or we will use whatever we have that we deem appropriate to our needs. It's your call. You tell us what your decision is. That's the only way to deal with bullies. And that's what the Biden administration is. They're a bunch of bullies. And I think that would perhaps get their attention rather quickly. I would hope it would. And if it didn't, well, they called it. It's on them. So
I would say that they're not just bullies. They are, by and large, most of the administration, most of the people who are calling the shots, and it's clearly not Biden who is calling the shots. Most of those people, who are all, to a man and to a woman, very specifically to a woman, graduates of the Obama administration.
They're the third administration, Obama.
Exactly. So they view Israel not just as a liability, but as a
perpetrator of genocide,
immoral, colonialist,
apartheid state,
something along those lines. Whatever, the various terms and epithets that they have created for us over decades. That is how a majority of the people running that administration view us today.
Quite right. So this is why I call them frenemies. They're friends and enemies. And this last action that they've taken to demonstrate that, with the sanction waiver of Iran, when is somebody going to say the emperor has no clothes? I mean, this is getting ridiculous. If you actually wrote down all of the hostile acts that this administration has done over the past 3 to 4 months, it would be staggering. And yet you still have people in the Israeli government right now, starting at the top with Bibi Netanyahu, parsing their criticism of the United States and qualifying their criticism by always announcing that that Joe Biden is a good friend of Israel, that he is standing by us, and that he's being a loyal ally. I mean, why do they think we're stupid? Did the politicians and the generals actually have such a low opinion of the electorate in Israel that they actually think we're swallowing this? No, but that's because the Israeli electorate, has basically demonstrated an irresponsibility, a degree of irresponsibility in selecting their representatives that basically, I'm inclined to say, you get what you pay for. You pay for, you elect these people over and over and over again, the same names over and over and over again, expecting them to what? Act differently than they had in the past? That's Einstein's definition of insanity. So with all of these problems that we've mentioned, from the Haredi draft issue to the equality of promotion problem, to Bibi's Canton misconception, to what you heard today concerning the Army's pushback um, on the government's allowance of victims and their families to sue the PA, of Smotrich's plan to sever or to make the Israeli banks accountable for a suit over the pay for slave program, to the sanction waivers. I mean, if you think about all these things that we just mentioned, where has there been a pushback? Where has there been a coherent government response to all of these problems that we just mentioned? Bibi, if he had, I don't know why I've asked people why he doesn't just fire Gallant. The man is disloyal. The man is incompetent. And the man is just out of his depths. But he's a very pliant actor for the Americans. That's the only thing I've seen. He does what they want. And Bibi's inability to act like Abraham Lincoln in the American Civil War is going to be, could be our undoing. Right now, Hetzi Halevi should be called into the Prime Minister's office and told, you either rescind the promotions that you had the chutzpah and not the authority to implement the promotions, or you're fired.